It's really dank in here. So if I didn't know it by my stuffed up nose and the nausea that I feel, then I would know by, or the dog's twitching, I would know by the fact that it keeps hitting the door, places on the ceiling. I had to turn the heat back on because it's cold in here. The dogs are wigged out. Jesus. It's quite up there. It's obviously time for another cup of coffee, even though good Lord. It is, I don't know what time it is, but the response to me doing this, which is making another cup of coffee, will be to do more shit to in the air. Good Lord. Oh, this is like the nightmare that will never end. I'm just so confused. That's like because of all the drugs. But I hate coffee. I don't get it. And the weird thing is, like, I always have these, like, thoughts of, like, oh, maybe there's someone staying at the hotel and it's, like, a fed and they're gonna stop it tonight. You know? I'll wake up in the emergency room, they'll be like, we're treating you for the drugs you've been inhaling, and your animals are in a safe place, and it's never that. Ever. It's just more of them. Just like, what the fuck? They're getting a lot of drive-bys up here on the road. Probably pelting stuff. Some blood. Just faint for now. That thing on the nose, but if I didn't know from all the other signs, the dog's eyes, they're twitching, the ping, 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 hitting everything, then I would know from the fact that she actually started going after this elbow too. She's just trying to completely disable this arm, apparently. The wrist, the fingers, of course. She loves mutilating my fingers, the forearm, but now the elbow. And to go along with the does that seem normal to you? Doesn't seem normal. It actually seems like shouldn't my elbow be all the way up here? Like, shouldn't I be able to see my elbow from over here? But this part, I swear to God, she's broken something in there or fractured it, because it's just so fucking painful all the time. Like, I can't even, like, pull my arm back to get my seatbelt on with this arm. Of course, her usual hair cutting just feels super short, like it wasn't short enough. Hair with just mutilation. You know, I used to always crack my knuckles. I can't do that anymore because she just, you know. And the cutting and my spine from here to here. Just, I mean, tender to the touch even. I don't understand. Now the people next door, I mean, they came in pretty late, like 10:30, 11. Heard that little sound? That's her. Now, you explain it to me. Like, I'm done trying to be like, oh, there's somebody in the attic. I mean, fuck if I know. All I know is I hear shit and then, you know? And that thing that flew up is like right there. And it's literally, I think, eaten away at the cartilage or whatever. Because if you feel on the other side, it's like thick. If you feel over here, it's like indented. And this is just, I mean, ever since it flew up there, it's buried itself into my fucking nose or whatever. But, yeah, the people came in next door for a short while. I was like, oh, I guess nobody's staying there. But then they did come and show up. And, so, I know, gross, right? The whole thing's disgusting. It's gross with it, it's gross without it, but at least I could drink it with it in there. Showed up and I looked out the door and it was like some older lady and then some like dude with a blue truck. But I've been followed by a lot of blue trucks. But there's a lot of blue trucks in the world, so. But I just don't see them being able to do anything here without those people knowing. I've long since known. It was just a reminder when I was, after I did the rape kit in Bremerton? Somewhere around there. Wait. No, that's wrong. It was outside of Oregon. That's where all the Hawaiians live. I'm guessing I had evidence there, and they, believe it or not, but they have people at emergency rooms, and they have doctors in their pocket, because, I mean, the doctor x-rayed this and said that he didn't see anything. It's like, you can see it from, like, I can see right here. Like, there's this big lump, and now she's trying to make this one match. Yeah. Now she's trying to make this one match, like, that's gonna be, like, oh, see, that's natural. It's like, I don't think she's the sharpest tool in the shed. Oh, yeah. But yeah, once the drug gets in your system, it's just like, everything hurts. I can only imagine how the dogs feel, you know? And you can look at them and know how they feel. Awful as shit. That's something I was just gonna make a comment on. It's weird. It's like how I think. It doesn't, I guess, surprise me now at this point how many rapists there are. Fucking scary. Like, seriously fucking scary. Like, realizing how fucking depraved men are and how many of them are like this, and thinking of how few men out there won't rape a woman. I think even some men would be surprised. But they have probably have a better idea of the whole thing than us women. But, it's just like, it's the animal abuse. It's like they're killing them. And I've been trying to find a place for them. I can't just like drop them off at a shelter the way they are. They're sick. They're super afraid. They'll disintegrate. They'll just like, no one will adopt them. You know what I mean? So I've been trying to find help, and it's like, no one wants to believe what I want to say. Chest pains. Now, I shouldn't be having chest pains. This is my second cup of coffee, you know? Like, come on now. like, unless I already have, like, drugs in my system that are counteracting with the caffeine, then I shouldn't be getting chest pains from one cup, like, my second cup of coffee. But yeah, the animal abuse, people next door, there's just no way they can't know, because they wouldn't do that. Their plan for tonight is to come in here and have the people up the hill that were in that house come down here, and whoever else is in here come in here and gang rape me, because that's what she likes to do. I mean, she has to do all the other stuff. If she doesn't have the opportunity to bring in a gang of people to rape, sodomize, and torture me, then she'll take an hour if that's all she gets, you know? And lately I've been fucking up, and it's like, I'll stay up, but then I'll fall asleep for an hour. And that used to work, but now she's on it, like, she'll take that hour. Like, this cut happened in an hour. Now I'm gonna have another cup. So, but yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, it surprised me about an old lady being involved, or, no. When I was getting the rape kit done in whatever that place was, outside of Portland, west of Portland, the Native Hawaiian neighborhood. Yeah, where the doctor said my finger didn't look fucked up. It didn't come up on x-rays. How can it not come up on x-rays when I can see with my plain eyeball that there's a big lump there? How is that possible? I don't think it is. Yeah, I went to a park after I got the rape kit done. I went and slept in the parking lot, and God knows what happened. The dogs were super freaked out. It's hard to know if they were freaked out because they had spent 8 hours in the parking lot by themselves, or if they were freaked out because of something that happened, or, you know, it's hard to know. But anyways, I went and looked for a park so we could walk around, and it was just a very kind of like, I had the bus. That was right before the bus. Oh, yeah, and then I had the guy that came and hid behind the bus, or disappeared behind the bus, and then it broke down, like, later on that day. But there was an old couple that showed up. Like, probably in their 70s or 80s. And then most people, they're going to look like this innocuous old couple, right? But because I've been doing this for so long now, the guy immediately gave me red flags because he just looked like a old motorcycle gang dude. You know, it was the way he walked. It's just the way people carry themselves when they're, I don't know, they're those kind of people. And anyhow, he was with the lady, and then there was just, and then you just watch and you see, and it's like they came by car, they parked, and they did like a short jaunt one way and then a short jaunt the other way. It just didn't make any sense, you know? It just didn't make any sense that you would drive all the way to this park to walk like a few seconds, you know, or a few minutes. I mean, it's just, it didn't jibe. It didn't. And I was looking at my bus to see what the guy had done, because he was also, it was the way he was moving with his two dogs. I saw him, I was on this side, my bus was here, he parked here, he came around here, and then when I got to about here, he kind of disappeared behind my bus for too long a period of time. And then he came out, and, but then, yeah, he kind of like walked down that way and then came back, and it's just, his route again didn't make sense. I mean, by then I'd done the whole park, because it was flooded and there wasn't that much whatever, but, and you know, just the way they look at you, whatever, people aren't going to believe me, but when you've been, like, this has been going on for so long, like, it's just hard for people to hide who they are. It really is. They're either too friendly, They give you bad looks, um, give you just too much attention, you know, too much watching to see if you're watching them. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm sure some people that understand all that stuff, you know. But anyhow, the old couple, I was on the side of that bus that he was, and I was just looking it over, trying to figure out like what he had been doing over there, and and I could hear her, and then so I looked behind me, and the old couple was there, and they were just kind of like they slowed down the way they were walking, and I could hear her actually say, "Oh, she keeps looking back at us," and I was like, it's just something you wouldn't notice. Like, why would you be staring at me? Why would you be watching me? You know, he came to the park, he came for a walk. Like, there's a lady by a bus, like she's looking at her own bus. Like, it's just, you know, and yeah, it was just the whole feeling of it, and it was just how much attention they gave me, how much they were watching me, and it was like, you know, I mean, you know, I wasn't really doing anything, so not significant enough to be watched, you know. So old people are not out of the running